What is up, everyone? Today, this is my first review on Marvel and DC characters. I have the buy right now. So, today I'm talking about X-Men Evolution. The show that was awesome and kicked butt like the anime series. I actually liked it a little bit more than, you guessed it, the other one. Includes Spectacular Spider-Man. Why I think this show's work is I'm going to talk about the three main teachers before Beast and the other characters before the rest. Starting off with Storm. Storm served a better purpose in this TV show. With Storm, we got a little more off of her. In the movie, she served no purpose. This, she served the purpose of being a hero. And think about it this way. What if she was the first mutant, because they're all teenagers in this show. Well, she was the first mutant to be found and became a mentor to these students. And she decided to help Professor X out. And it gets there. And she decides to help him. And he grows with this ideal. And they find others like him once they find Jean or Scott. Sorry, I tried not to cough through the whole video. Next up is Wolverine. Now in this show, he serves not that much of a purpose. But his storyline, the other X, worked perfectly. Of course, I don't know the X2 or Weapon X2. Doesn't know her name really good. But I think she serves a better counterpart than it did in the movie. And she wasn't in the comic books. They made her in this TV show. See now, in the movie, they tried to make her awesome. They tried to make her fit to Wolverine. But in this, she's not a replica. She acts like Wolverine. She was mixed with the DNA of Wolverine, so she would probably act like Wolverine. She would probably fight like Wolverine, do all the stuff that Wolverine would probably do. And she is trained like Wolverine. So, and when she comes to face with Wolverine, they both fight each other to the death. Not really. And it's how they go to fighting. They get it perfectly. Next up is Professor X. I wasn't really going to do it since you know him, but try not to come through this whole video and said, but like, Professor X is alright. Sorry to get left with it. Professor X is funny, but he's also good as a character because how he goes with himself. He doesn't just say, he acts like a mentor and does his job very perfectly. That's all I'm going to say. He has some storylines, but not really that good. Next up, the other character arcs with the teenagers. These are the good parts and bad ones. I'm going to start with the good characters. Starting off with the three main good characters. Spike. No, the four actually. Spike. Cyclops. Rogue. Let's start with the good character. The problem is, what about G? She's had a good role in the show too. I'll get her on the bad side. Now this show, I'm gonna start with the character Spike. He was better than more. Not just saying because he got killed off. What they could have done was use his powers a little bit more like Mystique's power. And in this show, they show that a character like Spike is not in the comic books like what they did with the Weapon X kind of character arc. They show a character still can be made without being from the comic books. But I wish he could have stayed a little bit longer. No, he did not die. He just left the team. So, of course, Spike is a great character because he's the nephew of Storm. So, he's the mutant himself and tries to control his powers. But what makes him a little bit good is because he's like 14 or 15. He's getting used to being a part of the X-Men, and he does grow to be a part of the team, but he does leave the team eventually as he leaves on to become a vigilante superhero. And I'm okay with it. Next up, Rogue. I'm saying Psycho from last because he's the best. Rogue is a great character because her character arc. Now, why in the show Rogue could just fly and all that stuff? No, she has to get used to walking and absorbing their powers. Rogue has to actually try to control them. What they did Rogue in the movie was this. In this, Rogue has more responsibility. Her powers start to grow on her. She starts to turn into the people that she's not supposed to be. And she can't even dance with people that she loves. But I would like to see Scott and Rogue get together more than Jean and Scott. Because Scott and Rogue were great characters to have their own story arc with. And they would have worked perfectly as their own teammate of superheroes. I would love to see them two get together. Next up is Jean. And now Scott. Scott was actually very good in this show. I liked him because he actually acted like the professor. He had to lower more responsible and knew when not to give up. With the superpowers and everything, he had to actually control the powers like Rogue did. And he knew what he had to do. Next up, Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler as a character is very good himself because he's better expanded in the movie. Not in the movie, I mean in this TV show. With Nightcrawler, we learn more about him, and Rogue and him are brother and sister. And they get their own powers to be used. And when they're using it, it's okay because they work together to form a team. And Nightcrawler is actually dead. That's all I have to say. Next up is the bad sides, which are only two characters. Jean Grey and Shadowcat. Let's start with Shadowcat. I didn't like her that much because she was the weakest of the team. I'm so glad they took her out of X-Men Pride and replaced her with Jubilee. All she does is go through walls and her powers never grow. We never get to explore most of her powers. We only just get to see her do this stuff and stuff and stuff. She just uses them irresponsibly. When there's a fight, she goes to the table, goes to the wall, and no one sees her. Now with Kirk and Spike, these characters were developed a little more. With their powers actually did stuff that could help the team. Kirk could just go behind someone and knock him out. Spike could throw Spike that could actually stab somebody. Ding, ding, ding. Rogue, she could take their powers and use them against them. They would have no powers. They wouldn't know who they are. What does she do? Go through the walls. She does nothing with those powers. I think BA for her other powers way of like building a force field, but she actually is able to stop other people from getting hit by it. But it never works that way because they never show it on mostly. Next up, Jean Grey. I liked her a little bit more than Kitty, but how they use her. That she could be used a little bit better, but they don't use her that good. They just use her for, really, just that's all. To get a romantic triangle between her and Scott. I'm okay with that, but I would like to see Rogue. And I'm not mad about that. I like their love triangle and everything. And it worked. Next up, I'm going to get onto the story. You already know the story. These characters are born with their power. But they take it in with the mutants not knowing about their powers yet. Not regular people just stick around doing this stuff. And Scott has to try to keep his powers down. He's packing a bazooka. So, of course, they have to work together. And when the show gets right, it's Magneto. I know we know it's Magneto, but he's wearing, you can't see his face. But they show his reveal and they show how he works. How he works is he turns Sky against his team mostly. And how they form Magneto and Mystique. Not that Mystique is just a bad guy. She actually is used a little more. She gets shown more and more and more. And it gives us something to watch about. Next up, the villain of the list. Well, let me go to the story. See now, what the films failed to get with Mystique and Magneto is this. In X-Men First Class, I liked Magneto. We were getting to know it, and he matched the cartoon version. But right here, it matches that cartoon version too of X-Men Evolution. They show each character big, powerful enough. And how Magneto is just shadowed over it and just wants to rule the world. We see it all come together in the Kaleido battle, with him actually trying to help them. He tries to destroy Spider, supposed to stop Apocalypse, and he wants to be the most powerful mutant, but can't face Apocalypse. That's what gets me. Next up, Mystique. See, now they get right in this show too. Mystique is used more better even in the movies. Mystique is shown as a progressive character that works with a team, and she really is very good at what she does. That's all I have to say. But see now, the villains of the team of the Brown Hair are not that good, and I really don't care about them. But they do have some interesting character arcs and everything. But how the show worked is its form. It shows what the X-Men original series was trying to do, and it works perfectly with this because it makes itself better. That's all I'm gonna say. And when they made Wolverine the X-Men, I was okay with it. I just thought it reminded me of the original X-Men. And with the X-Men new film, it tries to go the same level of what the X-Men Evolution did, but it won't work. They don't get that. But that's all right now. Join me next time on The Reviewer. See ya.